History often remembers Cleopatra as a symbol, a queen of beauty, a seductress, a tragic romantic figure. But history rarely confronts the reality of her final days, because the truth is far more disturbing than legend. In 30 BCE, Cleopatra VII, last ruler of Ptolemaic Egypt, did not face a poetic ending. She faced political annihilation, isolation, psychological collapse, and the slow destruction of everything she had built. This is not the story of how Cleopatra died. This is the story of how Cleopatra lost, step by step, long before her death, and how the fall of one woman marked the end of an entire civilization. Part 1. The world closing in. By the final years of her reign, Cleopatra was no longer fighting for power. She was fighting for survival. Rome had already decided Egypt's fate. Octavian, soon to become Augustus Caesar, was not merely advancing militarily. He was rewriting history in real time, portraying Cleopatra as a dangerous foreign ruler who threatened Roman order. This narrative mattered because Rome did not just conquer territories, it justified them. Cleopatra understood this. She knew that defeat would not mean negotiation, it would mean humiliation, public display, and political erasure. Alexandria, once the intellectual heart of the ancient world, was now surrounded. The libraries were silent, the allies were gone, the Mediterranean was no longer hers. Part 2. Betrayal and isolation. Cleopatra's power depended on loyalty, and loyalty was dissolving. Roman pressure fractured her court, advisors defected, military commanders hesitated, even long-standing allies began calculating their own survival. Ancient sources describe a queen increasingly isolated, physically and psychologically. She retreated into the palace. She relied on fewer voices. She trusted almost no one. This was not paranoia, it was realism. Cleopatra had ruled through intelligence, diplomacy, and symbolism. Now, all three were collapsing at once, and Rome was watching. Part 3. The death of Mark Antony. Mark Antony's defeat at Actium changed everything, but his death was the true turning point. Ancient accounts suggest Cleopatra believed, at least briefly, that Antony had abandoned her. In reality, both were victims of Octavian's strategy. When Antony died, Cleopatra did not just lose a partner. She lost her military shield, her Roman legitimacy, her final bargaining tool. From this moment on, Cleopatra was no longer a rival to Rome. She was a problem to be eliminated. Part 4. Capture without chains. Cleopatra was never dragged through Alexandria in chains, but she was captured nonetheless. Octavian took control of Egypt without resistance, not because Cleopatra surrendered willingly, but because resistance had become meaningless. Roman sources emphasize restraint, but restraint was strategic. Octavian wanted Cleopatra alive, not out of mercy, but because a living queen could be paraded, symbolized, and rewritten. Cleopatra understood exactly what awaited her. She would not be executed immediately. She would be displayed. Part 5. The psychological collapse. The most horrific part of Cleopatra's final days was not physical, it was psychological. She was cut off from power. Her children were bargaining pieces. Her legacy was being rewritten by her enemy. Ancient historians describe her attempting negotiations, not to save herself, but to protect her lineage. Octavian refused real concessions. He had already won. Cleopatra was no longer a ruler. She was evidence. Part 6. History versus myth. The death itself. The myth is familiar. An asp, a dramatic death, a poetic ending. But history is uncertain. Ancient sources disagree. Roman records are incomplete. Modern historians remain divided. What is clear is this: Cleopatra's death was not romantic. It was a final act of control in a world where she had lost all others. Whether poison, serpent, or combination, the method mattered less than the meaning. She chose death to deny Rome a symbol, not a victory, but a refusal. Cleopatra did not die as history remembers her. She died as history feared her. And with her, an ancient world disappeared forever.